Joint Planning Commission to order and ask approval for the August minutes.
I move they be approved as submitted.
I have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion of those minutes?
No.
If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion passed. Council liaison report. Council Lillihat. Councilor Lillihat.
It was a relatively short meeting on Monday. There wasn't a lot discussed as far as what's going on. We did have a report on the community center. Okay, I just couldn't find that word. Community center, we're getting a lot of responses for the survey out there. I think we have like 400 responses, something like a little over 400 responses. So we should be getting a report on that in what, November?
November 1st.
November 1st, we're going to be getting a report that will summarize all of the comments and what the desires are. And so we'll be moving forward from that. There's still a lot of discussion going on with the Bushman Road project. We're looking at various options there. So they're still in the discussion phase as to where we're going to go and how we're going to be doing it. And that was basically about it for the meeting. We also looked at the budget for next year, and we're looking at about a 10% levy increase, which is really pretty good. We're going to be retiring some bonds, and we will be pretty much we will be debt free by the end of next year. So that is a big plus, for a city our size, to be in that great of financial position. So that's been about it. Was there anything else significant, Patrick, that you could think of? I think that was about it. Yeah. Any questions?
Any questions?
Question.
Yeah.
You indicated you adopted a revised police misconduct policy. Is that a big issue?
No, that's a standard policy that promulgated down from the state.
Police officers have a post board that they have to follow to get certified to be a police officer in Minnesota. Post modifies those. We've been modifying these policies for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And as they come through, we adopt them. And that's why we use the term modified, because before, when we were saying we were adopting the new, people were confused as though we never had different policies in the past. So.
Yeah. That's why it's in the consent agenda, because it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. We have two open forums during the meeting, one early and one later on in the meeting. I will open forum number 1 now. If anyone would like to get up and speak, the conditional use permit application will be next on the agenda. So, but this is just an opportunity for anyone to come to the podium and speak if they would like. Anyone? If not, I will close open forum number 1 and move to our next agenda item, which is a public hearing to consider a conditional use application by Joseph O'Shaughnessy. And I will open that public hearing and ask the applicant if they would like to come up and make a presentation. If you would just introduce yourself and your address.
Good evening. My name's Joe O'Shaughnessy, and I reside at 29812 Lakeshore Drive. I've submitted some stuff to Jerry on the plans. I don't know if you have them all overhead, but I seek to have to split the lot, pick up the one home, move it over, and then build an additional home on the secondary lot.
Pretty straightforward, which is unusual.
I like to think so.
Well, let me just ask the the members if they have any questions at this point. Roger?
Are you moving the existing garage also? You said-
Yes, we're gonna move the
That's what
existing
it looks like,
garage. It's almost gonna flip around 180 degrees. If you see on track B, the garage was originally on track A, and that's gonna be moved over in front of the house that's gonna be moved.
Marcy, any questions? Lee?
Nothing yet.
Tracy? No. Anything that you would like to add or make sure we understand?
No, I'm just trying to build a new home and clean the place up and make it look nice.
Exactly. Well, thank you. We might have some questions.
Sure.
Jerry, would you like to provide your staff review?
Sure. It's Conditional Use Application 2021-03. The applicant is Joseph O'Shaughnessy. Property address is 29812 Lakeshore Drive in Breezy Point. PID number is 102-11035. The legal description is quite lengthy, so I will forego reading the legal description, but it's actually a description that's a combination of about 4 lots. The property is zoned R2, medium density residential. The appropriate city code is 153.032, 152.40, and 152.50. The conditional use request is the existing conditions, 4 lots consolidated as part of a 1925 plat. The parcels contain a house, garage, pole shed, tent, small cabin. There's a drawing in your packet which is labeled 3 of 5, which shows the existing conditions. The property is also served by municipal sewer. The applicant is proposing to remove the pole shed, canvas tent, and small cabin, create 2 lots, tract A and tract B, relocate the existing cabin on tract B to conform with all setbacks, relocate existing garage to tract B to conform with all setbacks and move structures, and additions to the moved structure, and construct a new home on tract A. Applicant has submitted an application for conditional use permit for moved structures. Property is zoned R2. There's a number of findings that the Planning Commission needs to look at in making their decisions. I'll forego reading those, but they are listed A through I in the report. The applicant has filed the appropriate application for a CUP, has paid the appropriate fee for the application. Public notice of a conditional use hearing was published in the legal newspaper, and all property owners within 350 feet were given mailed notice of said hearing. Public hearing is being held as we speak. We've reviewed the site plan, the CUP application. We've also reviewed the section on administrative meets and bounds subdivisions. Made a determination that, well, their move structure is an appropriate use in the conditionally, in the R2 zone with a conditional use. If the commission so chooses to approve the CUP, the following might be conditions that could be attached. Applicant to obtain building permit for accessory structures, primary structure, and move structures. Applicant shall comply with all setback requirements. Siding and roofing of principal structures and accessory structures to be of similar material. All structures shall comply with state building code. Height of accessory structure shall not exceed 15 feet. And all structures shall comply with setback requirements. You could, if you were to deny the CUP, you would also be denying the lot split. With that, I would also note that we did receive today a mailed comment via John Rapart and Stephanie Hayter. You have a copy of that. The applicant is aware of that, that letter also. The only other thing I would tell you is that when this, or when Mr. O'Shaughnessy first came in, which was probably 6 weeks ago, maybe even longer, this was a much more complicated project than it is today. He's done some work to try to bring everything into conformance with setbacks and to try to make things work. With that, I'll conclude.
Any questions of Jerry? Roger?
No.
Marcy?
I think last week we talked about that there was a well that was maybe too close to the foundation of the new building. I just wanted to check, has that well been moved, or is there a plan to move that, or is that not necessary?
Can I address that?
Sure. Would you mind coming up?
I did have the well company out, and the well was installed in 2012, and it is in compliance. It will be 7 feet from the new structure, and state code calls it out to be a minimum of 3 feet.
Thank you.
I have no questions.
Crazy?
No questions?
Tom?
Nope.
Okay. Is there any public input to this application? If there is, would you please come to the podium and introduce yourself and give us your address?
I just have a question.
Would you come up to the,
I haven't seen that drawing before. Mr. O'Shaughnessy has included us in a lot of the information about what he's going to do, but
could I interrupt you for just 1 second?
oh,
Name and address?
Stephanie
Oh, I'm
Hyder,
sorry, yes.
Stephanie Hyder, 29824 Lakeshore Drive, right next door, adjacent to the property. I just am wondering on tract A, there's a rectangular something closest to the water, and I'm wondering what that is, because I don't remember hearing about
That's
that.
going to be a proposed shed. I don't know that I'm going to put it up because it's going to block my view as well.
Sir, you're not being heard, so you'd have to go up there, but you would actually wait till the commission asked you to speak, so that.
So we hadn't talked about that before. We have talked about where it's going to be, and we've expressed to him our concern, since we live right next door, how far forward it is from our house. Lake-wise, it's considerably far forward, but if it meets setbacks, it meets setbacks. But he's certainly talked to us about it and tried to explain to us what he's going to do.
And just to be clear, you're talking about that rectangle that says proposed garage?
That one right there. That one is not, hopefully it's not going to be there. That would only thing I would say. We hope that's not going to be put there, because that would not only block his view, it would certainly block our view as well.
Thank you. Joseph?
So I put that on there just so that I would have it on there in the event that we did decide to do that. Subsequently, I have purchased one of the storage buildings over off of 4 over there. So I don't want to block my own view, so I don't have plans on putting that in at this point in time. I just did not want to go ahead and change all the drawings and pay for that until I have everything approved.
Where would you put the shed that you're putting?
I'm not going to put one in back there, no. No, I purchased a storage building over on, like I said, over by the KinderCare there.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yep. So I'm done with that. Yep.
Would you have a problem if we were to suggest we just eliminate that entirely?
Certainly, I can do that when I apply for my permits. When I build the house, I can eliminate that off the drawing. I may elect to have some type of a small shed down there comparable to what their shed may be, but it's not gonna be big because I don't wanna ruin my view. I've done a lot of work to try and maintain my view, and I don't wanna ruin my own view.
Jerry?
Although it's, his intention today is not to do that. Let's assume that he sells that tomorrow, and somebody came in for a permit to put that garage in that area that met setbacks. There was no way that we could deny that permit.
So that
I just want to make that clear, because today his intentions are such, tomorrow there might be a different owner, and they might have different ideas, but because it meets setbacks, I don't have any grounds to deny a permit.
does not require conditional use.
No, it does not.
I think as a point of clarification, should he do the building and not put in the shed that he's proposing here, and later on sells the property, the new owner decides to put in a stand, like a 10 by 12 shed down there, that would be allowed.
Under our rules, a 10 by 12 shed can be 20 feet from the OHW.
Right.
And 10 feet from the side yard. Under our rules, a bigger accessory structure, if it meets the setbacks, which in this case would be 30 feet from the wetland and at least 50 feet from the OHW,
Okay.
he could build in that area.
Any other questions?
Not from me.
Okay, thank you again.
Yep.
Any other public input? If not, I will close the public hearing on this application and move to our next agenda item, which is official action on this application. We obviously have the memo from the city planner, and I would entertain a motion.
I would make a motion to approve the conditions as outlined on here, that the applicant, number one, shall obtain building permit for accessory structure, primary structure, and main structure. Two, applicant would comply with all setbacks. Three, slating and roofing of principal structure and accessory structure shall be of similar material. Four, all structures shall comply with state building code. Five, height of accessory structure would not exceed 15 feet, and all structures shall comply with setbacks.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second?
Have a motion and a second, discussion.
I just had one question on that, maybe I should have brought it up before, I just noticed it. The driveway on the track B, can you put that up against the track A property line? See that? That's okay with setbacks and stuff there? See that?
Actually, I think if you look at number 5 of 5, you see that they are separated.
So they can be up by, it's just a question.
Right.
Okay, all right. That's all I got.
I'm not sure this impacts the motion at all, but we didn't discuss the letter that we received about alignment with other homes. Did you have anything to say about that, Jerry?
I just made it part of the record that we did receive that, and you all have a copy of that. I believe one of the applicants, or one of the neighbors is here that was part of that letter. And I think that was the issue with the detached garage down towards the lake shore.
Any other discussion, Lee?
Nope.
Tracy?
Nope.
Okay, I will call the question. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion passed. Thank you. Thank you all. Open forum number 2. Would anyone like to get up and speak during open forum number 2? If not, I will close open forum number 2. Do we have anything else to discuss tonight? If not, we're gonna set an all-time record.
Fawcett Hill thing, we're just kinda, the
Circle Drive thing.
Circle Drive.
My anticipation is that at your next month meeting, you're going to have a discussion on the Circle Drive and a specific zoning for that piece, for that area. I believe the issue that we had with when we talked about the sheds and the impervious coverage in some of those small lot areas, that's going to go to the city council next month. And then hopefully the zoning issue would go to the city council the following month. We also, next month, will have a conditional use or for an interim use a piece of property that is adjacent to Dove Street in Suffolk. There's a lady that has a business in Pequot. That's I think people come to her business and make wine. And she's proposing to move that to one of her accessory structures on her 20-acre parcel. So that's what you're looking at next month.
Jerry, I'm just curious on, I forget what street it is, but the other side of the airport, north of the holding pond a ways, there's a major clearing of trees.
There's a gentleman that's bought 8 lots over there, and he has cleared those trees. His intention is to build 7 homes.
And he can clear cut. I mean, it looks literally like he's clear cutting everything.
Well, each one of those lots is so small, you almost have to take all the trees in order to put something on them. It's a difficult site to begin with just because of the topography, but that's the intention. And for your information, all we know as far as the airport is concerned is that they're trying to fill in that hole.
That's a challenge.
What's a big hole?
Any updates on our Fawn Lake project?
We were there this afternoon. The wall is installed and done. There's some backfill that still has to happen, and there's some replanting that has to happen. I did draft him a letter today. I drafted him an email telling him what was needing to get done. We really need him to reestablish some erosion control again so that we don't have any issues come spring. Recognizing that he's probably not going to get done with everything this year, but he assures me that he will keep working at it.
So he can get an extension, correct?
Well, we get a commitment from him to keep on doing it. I don't know that we're going to come in and officially do some action unless you choose to do that, or if you want to have him in to come in and talk to you again. I think his intentions are clear. I think he just ran out of time. And I think he, undertook a bigger project than he estimated, and he's, again, doing it all by himself. But we were there this afternoon, and I would say it's probably, 65 to 70% complete.
Erosion control you're talking about, Jerry, is silk fencing?
Yes. My understanding is that he thought he was done enough that he could remove it, so he removed it. That's not how we see it, quite frankly.
Oh, he did remove the
Yes. We met with his father-in-law out there today, and that was the message that we got. But it's not in a condition yet that we want to leave that bare.
That, from a layman's point of view, that could have a pretty major impact on that little lake.
We understand that.
Anything else that anyone else has? If not, the meeting's adjourned.